Next is from Gary Hans, and the subject is MVP versus Jericho. This is interesting, by the way. Yo, Joe, I hope your eye infection spreads to your voice box. The next time you try to cut off our... Next time you try to cut off our hero and leader, Konnan. How dare you? LOL, just plain. So wake up the news that MVP and Chris Jericho had some type of argument altercation at a hotel. And I'd love to know your take on it. The whole line of Jericho saying, I don't fight jobbers, has to be made up. Jericho's one of the smartest wrestlers of all time, but he's going to turn into a mark during a real fight. Also, if these guys did fight, who would your money be on? In 2022, I'm going with MVP. He's aged really well and looks like he can go on a high level. I would never bet against Chris Jericho because I've had conversations with him where he says he's the type of guy like this is what he said. He told me when he had his remember when he got in Brock's face?
Yeah.
He said he was this close to just biting his nose. Okay? Chris Jericho's father was a fighter in the NHL. Just a guy that like, okay, hey, if you do, let's drop it. Like, so he was taught fight for yourself growing up. Mm-hmm. I've never seen Chris fight, but he acted like he could fight. I'm pretty sure he probably can if he grew up with his dad was a fighter and something. His dad probably taught him how to fight growing up and stuff and all that. But MVP was like was he a shoe fighter for a while? Did he do MMA?
I remember he won some sort of plus 40
judo.
MMA or judo. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, like I said, I wouldn't bet against a shoe fighter, but I wouldn't bet against Chris Jericho. I would not bet against him. He look at what he did to. Okay, if you said Bill Goldberg and Chris Jericho are going to have the real fight. And like you did not know what happened, right? What would you think the outcome would be just by looking at the two guys? Well, Goldberg probably killed him, right?
Right.
It's like nope, kind of the exact opposite. Jericho hooked him, wouldn't let him go, and made him look silly. So that's why, like I said, I would not bet against this guy. Would you?
Well, I actually spoke to a friend of the show and our former boss, Chris. I live in a gigantic mansion and need a forklift to move my fish tank. And he has heat with that turtle. Remember that turtle that was on the road?
Yep.
Jericho.
Does he have heat for hanging out with me at the hotel bar and having some drinks? I guess you could call him.
When was this?
Friend of Joe Feeney. You could put that in there.
When was
not a
this,
friend
by the
of
way?
yours. You probably gave him some free drinks.
It was after
slobbing his all night. Oh, Joe, you're the best. Chris, you're the best. Chris is way more
Led
polite
Zeppelin.
than I am. Huh?
Let's do best Led Zeppelin songs 6 through 10.
Right.
Like it's yeah. Right.
Or he brought him a Chris Jericho poster he's had, from ECW when he wrestled there.
There was no autograph.
Chris just ain't gonna hang out with you, bro. You're not.
I was there.
So let's hear the story.
Frankie and Chris's
I
invitation.
can't see Chris going, wow, I'm in Philly. I gotta call Joe and hang out with him.
It was him and him and Frankie. Yeah, they said, "Come on
Who
by."
the is Frankie?
Kazarian.
Oh, they said, "Come on by." So he called you and said, "Hey, we're down here in the bar. Come on by."
We were in a group text.
You got him tickets, didn't you?
Yeah,
didn't they?
Yeah, they got me tickets too.
I'm sure it was in the text. Hey, can I get some tickets? Sure, whatever. Hey, by the way, where are you guys hanging after the show?
Right.
So here, come on by.
Right. It wasn't them inviting you. It was you finding out and them going, you know what? He's been cool with us and he does a lot of free Bring him in.
Right.
Yeah. Joe, please don't kid yourself.
I know.
Please don't try to play us because you
said you had a
play
conversation.
yourself.
I was just doing it for the show.
Konnan, you said you had a conversation with me.
Yeah.
For that weak attempt. So I had a conversation with him. We were talking about many things. Amongst them, I had just read about this MVP thing. And I was like, what happened, bro? And he said that I guess Chris had written some political statement on his Twitter. I forget exactly what.
It was about the election being fishy. You know, he was kind of alluding to maybe it was stolen.
All right. And that I guess MVP just wrote to him, delete this.
Right.
You know?
And Chris blocked him.
And so anyways, this happened like a year and a half ago. And he said that he was in the lobby talking to Matt Hardy and that, you know, MVP showed up. Obviously, it must have been an AEW show because, you know, right. Jericho and Hardy are there. So obviously he went out of his way to look for him. And he went in there and he was like, you know, challenging him to a fight to go outside or whatever. And Chris was like, bro, you know how the boys are at late at night. I'm in my flip-flops. I'm just chilling. You know that scene.
Right.
You know, you don't want to be with. You don't want to deal with nobody, bro. You just
it's like you're trying to wonder, what did I do to this guy? He
Right,
wants to
and,
fight, right? It's like,
and plus,
we
the
should probably
show's
talk
over.
this
You're
out.
unwinding,
Right.
you're relaxing with your boys, probably having a couple drinks. You're in your flip flops, dude. You know, we've both been there. And this guy's coming in and challenging him to a fight, and he goes, "Yeah, it was real grade school." And he said that as the elevator was closing, he said, "I don't fight jobbers," and that he just went ballistic. So
I'd like to. Could you get you're friends with MVP because both you guys got arrested at a San Diego Chargers football game together.
no, he
correct?
didn't get arrested. I got arrested.
You did, okay, because they profiled you, which is good. But good job profiling you. I would have arrested you too. Why don't you get MVP? Why don't you text MVP and get his side of the story?
Well, he's on WWE, so that I can't see that happening.
Well, then why don't you tell one of your minions, Ray or Dominic, to get the story from MVP and relay it to you?
All right.
That's a possibility right there. You didn't even think of that.